Dumbass. Go play Nintendo.
I feel by this point I'm just teasing the coming project, but long story short, there will be a marathon where I talk about YouTubers and overall content creators that have impacted my life. But since friends are celebrating the holidays, I kinda see this as a warm-up for what's up ahead. And Nexpo, or Nightmare Expo, you're old, is a channel that has definitely fallen into a pleasant and great surprise. As I have mentioned in the channel, I don't like creepy channels because I feel they overuse certain tones like jump scares or overly dramatic atmospheres with their voice, or the overall composition of the video being scarier than the topic itself. And that's usually my issue with some creepy media, where the topic itself should always be the major reason to get scared and intrigued rather than the way the content creator makes it scary. And this project is probably the perfect representation of that. DROWNS again is both a short film representing the original story as well as a documentation of the DROWNS ARG, which consisted of a YouTube community, a cult-like website, and an overall sequence of events regarding that story. The major highlight of this documentary is the retelling of the original creepypasta. In the technical aspect, it's a film. From the aspect ratio, frame rate, and compositions, this project follows the elements of cinematography all the way through. Script-wise, I think the story is as good as an adaptation of the DROWNS story can get in movie form. It's definitely better paced than the Slender Man movie, I can tell you that much. There are some minor nitpicks, like how we're just told out of nowhere that Ben drowned, oh yeah, spoilers, that the old man never existed, and how the weird neighbor just tells us to get out of the place when, if my memory doesn't fail me, he's supposed to be the one that gives the exposition I just mentioned, as well as the purchase being made online rather than just a guy looking at a random yard sale. Though I don't know how much better it is to end up in an area that's clearly outside of civilization. For those that aren't that into that part of the internet, DROWNS is the story about a man that was looking to purchase some N64 games, and during that quest, discovers a man having a yard sale in which he gets a copy of Majora's Mask for free, which had a file of a person called Ben, presumably to be a dead relative of the old man. And as he leaves the file be and creates his own, as he plays the game, some NPCs call him Ben instead of the name he gave to Link, which makes him delete the save file, and little does he know about the terrible fate that decision ends up giving him. With the author having night terrors, the game glitching in disturbing yet intriguing ways that are trying to give a message here, and overall insanity throughout the story, we get to see them being represented in the best way possible. And like I said, there are many minor nitpicks in terms of differences in which the story is being told, but I can consider a good chunk of them as overall improvements over the original story, or at least clever methods to really adapt the narrative in a cinematic format that needs to be aligned with every point of the story. While I can say the original telling still holds up, one clear criticism is that it was written separately instead of being parts of one full package. Don't get me wrong, there's still a beginning and an ending in the original, but this short makes it all feel more fluid and connected than the source's narrative. That also includes some of the creative liberties that they added to the story, like the dream sequence, which is phenomenal in a producer's point of view, but I could say it's a little off in some of this direction. Like, it makes sense that we have the sequence focused on drowning and desperation, but at no point is there a description of the guy T-posing during the streams. I know it's majorly a cross symbolism for dramatic effect, and it's not bad, I just feel that framing went a little too hard for its already effective tone. And you see, while DROWNS is one of the most popular creepypastas out there, only a fraction of that story is what became such an online phenomenon. The rest of the documentary shows us the ARG elements that were the real purpose of the creepypasta, in which we see that the Ben inside the game wasn't an actual kid, but rather a weird online virus that spread over the world to say something, I guess, but I won't spoil it here, that's not the point of this video. If you're interested in knowing all the stuff beyond the original story, I recommend you to watch Nexpo's special all the way through. And if you just want to see a visual representation of the DROWNS story, I can still recommend you to give it a shot since there's a lot of interesting ways they took in order to re-experience one of the most popular stories of creepy gaming history. I wish you all a happy holiday, and for those that are subbed to this channel by this point in life, thank you. This definitely is the last video of 2020, but just seeing any sign of life here at this point means we're building up something, and I hope to see you all as we keep going forward. Hey, if Ben can drown again, we can definitely get back up next year. Thanks for listening.